Hey, this is Ish, and today I wanted to talk to you about how to overcome addictions, neediness, and cravings by understanding the second chakra. So the second chakra is responsible for creativity, sexual energy, and pleasure when it's balanced. However, when it's imbalanced, you have symptoms such as neediness, cravings, addictions such as alcohol, gambling, pornography, and drugs, just to name a few examples. And if you find yourself kind of in this state where you are grasping for things and you have a lot of addictions to different vices, don't beat yourself up over it just because being stuck here in the second chakra energy is a lot more powerful than the first chakra, which is, when imbalanced, is full of fear and shame. So at least with the second chakra, you do have a little bit more energy to desire things and crave different things. And that has just a slightly higher energy than being very fearful and panicking, which doesn't have any personal power. However, the second chakra imbalances are caused mainly by guilt and then also a lack of fulfillment in your life. So these combinations kind of add and feed into themselves, and it produces a cycle. And the first step you want to take is to release guilt. So anytime you engage in an imbalance or unhealthy second chakra behavior, such as neediness or grasping for things, and you perform a certain action, then you do feel a lot of guilt. So for example, you are drinking a lot and you feel guilt over that, or you binge eat, for example, and you have a lot of guilt related to that. So the first step you want to take is to release the guilt. So by doing that, you would just sit in meditation and allow the feelings to come and go. And this will break that initial cycle. The second would be to work on finding fulfillment. This will be done by focusing on the third chakra, which is its chakra above, the Manipura or solar plexus chakra. And this chakra is related to personal power, of purpose, and healthy goal setting. So one way to tap into this third chakra is to find out some goals that you had in the past, but you had kind of given up on, and work on re-engaging and getting back into goal setting, working on your goals, setting life actions that make you fulfilled. You can ask yourself what your inner purpose is in life and kind of pick up on that. And then another thing would be to start creating more than you consume. So like I mentioned, the second chakra is related to creativity. So when you're in the second chakra space and you're consuming a lot of things like playing a lot of video games or watching TV or consuming a lot of information, you're not creating as much. And creativity is fulfilling in itself. So just the process of creating different things, whether, for example, it's me creating this audio for you to listen to, is an example of creating that taps into the healthy side of the second chakra. And now when you're working on these steps of releasing guilt and actually creating a life for yourself, you'll find that you feel very fulfilled, and you actually don't want the vices that you are actually craving, because you feel fulfilled within and you don't need external stimulus to actually make you happy. So there was a famous study done in the 1970s called the rat park experiment, and they had two groups of rats, and both had access to water, and also they had access to a water which was laced with cocaine. And the first group of rats were placed in a glass cage, kind of almost like a jail cell, and they were just all by themselves. And they found that group had OD'd on the cocaine because they were pretty lonely, they didn't have much to do, and they were kind of in a state of neediness. And the second group were actually placed in an artificial playground where they had different toys and activities, and they had other mice there, so there was kind of like a social network of other rats there. And they found that with the second group, although they still had the water and the water-laced cocaine, the instances of the rats taking cocaine reduced drastically, and they rarely touched it, if ever, and there were actually no overdoses in that group. So what does this actually tell us, and how can this be applied over to our lives? Well, we can see that once we start to develop a life which is very fulfilling by working on our third chakra, our goal settings, and doing things that make us happy, we can actually transcend the second chakra problems of craving and addiction, because instead of grasping for things outside of yourselves to make you happy, you're now being fulfilled from the inside. So I hope this talk clarifies a couple of things, and feel free to leave me messages. Thank you.